everyone, welcome back. Hope you are doing good. In the previous video, we covered section B of the sample paper issued by CBSE for the academic session 23-24. And in today's video, we are going to dive into the section C of the same sample paper. So, without wasting much time, let's jump into the questions. Alright then, let's read the first question from the section C. Here is the question number 26. Predict the output of the Python code. So let's understand the code and dry run it. This is the first string initialized to int-23 and the second one is the empty string. With the help of counter variable I, we are executing while loop. This loop will continue until the value of I is less than length of text1 and the length of text1 is 6. So the value of I will be from 0 to 5. Now let's dry run the program. In the pass one, the value of I will be 0. So text of 0 is I. It doesn't fit in the category of the digit. So we will be coming to the elif part. Now let's try to evaluate this expression. Here we are taking text1 of I plus 1. I is 0. I plus 1 will be 1. So text of 1 is n. And that we are concatenating to the text2. Text2 we initialize to the empty string in the beginning. So we will be getting character n. So from this expression we understood that whenever we get the character, we will be taking the next character of the string and will be concatenating to the text2. That's why in the past 2 the value of I will be 1 and I plus 1 means 2. We will be taking D and concatenating to the previous string. In this way we got ND. Proceeding in the same way, third pass gives the value of I 2. Text of 2 is D. So we have to come to the elif part. 2 plus 1 will be 3. So we will be getting dash that we will concatenate to the previous string. Let's move ahead to the next pass. In the fourth pass, the value of I will be 3. So text of 3 is dash. It is not digit, not even alphabet. So we will be coming directly to the else part. When we look at this statement, we are just concatenating star to the previous string. So the star will get concatenate to the previous string. In the fifth pass, the value of I will be 4 and the text of 4 is 2. This satisfies the first conditional statement. It is a digit. In the if part, there are 3 statements. So let's try to evaluate it. The first expression is value equals to integer of text1 of I. And this position we got the character 2 that we are converting to integer. In the next statement, we are gonna add 1 to it. So 2 plus 1 will be 3. Let's check out the last expression. Here we are gonna convert that value to string. So 3 will get converted to string. And with plus operator, we are concatenating it to the previous string, that is text2. So finally, we will be getting this type of string. Now it's time for the last iteration. The value of I will be 5. And the character we are getting at that position is 3. So it comes to the category of digit. Again, these 3 expressions will get evaluated. The character 3 will be converting to integer 3. 1 will get added to it, so we will get 4. So in the next statement, integer 4 will get converted to string 4 and it will get concatenate to the previous string. In this way, we will be getting this output. Hope you understood this explanation. Let me know in the comments whether you felt it easy or difficult. After completing the 26th question, moving ahead and let's check out the 27th question. It is based on MySQL concept. We have to write the output of the queries. So here is the table and here are 3 queries. We have to predict the output of these queries. Let's start reading the first query. Select count distinct sports from club. From the sports column, we could see there are total 4 distinct sports. First is chess, second is cricket, third is volleyball and fourth is karate. And here are the repeated entries that we will not count. That's why the distinct sports are 4. What's the second query? Select CNAME and sports. Now what's the criteria? The date of publication should be less than this specified date and the CNAME like %NA. It will be easy to check CNAME with the given criteria. Candidate name ending with NA, we could find 2 records. This is the first record and there is one more record. Now let's check the another criteria. The date of application should be less than 2006. For the record with the CNAME Meena, the date of application is 2007. So it is greater than 2006. If we check the record of Amina, the date of application is 2003. So here is the record which satisfies both the criteria. So for that record, we have to print CNAME, that is Amina, and the sport is chess. So in this way we will be getting the output. It's time to read the last query. Select CNAME, age and pay. The condition is gender should be male and the pay between 1000 and 1200. Let's find out the male record. There are 3 male records in the table. Now we will be checking the pay column. The pay of Sham is 1300. So it doesn't satisfy the criteria. The pay of Amrit is 1000. This record satisfies both the criteria. Moving ahead to the last record, the pay of Virat is 1050. So this record also satisfies the criteria. In this way we will be printing the name of those records. The first is Amrit, the second record is Virat. Age of Amrit is 21, age of Virat is 35. And finally we have to mention the pay of both of them. You will be writing the answers of these queries in this way. Draw proper table and write the column header too. Now let's talk about the 20th question. There is a OR part 2. Both the questions are based on the text file. If you know the code, you can skip this part. Here we have to write the Python function to read alpha.txt file and we have to display those lines which begins with the word U. Okay, then let's check out the code for the same. With the def keyword, we will be creating user defined function. As name is not mentioned, we can write as we want. Whenever we are working with files, the first task is to open the file. Here we will be opening the mentioned txt file in the read mode with the open function. To read the content of the text file, we have 3 functions. The first is read, the second is read line and the third is read lines. Here we are using the read lines functions as there are many lines in the text file. Read line functions gives the result in the form of list and each line is separated by \n that we are going to store in the variable lines. Now the next task is to iterate over the lines of the list. For that we are using for loop. According to the question, we have to check that line is getting started with the word U or not. So we need to separate out the words of the line. For that we are using split function. By default split function splits based on space. You can see here after applying split function, each word got split. We have to compare the 0th element of the list is U or not. That we are doing with the if. If list of 0 is equals to U, then we will be printing the line. So when we will execute the print line, according to our data, we will be getting the output. As we consider this data in the file, you can see here we are getting those lines which are starting with the word U. And finally we have to close the connection. You know the importance of closing the connection in case of file handling. The questions based on text files are very important. Surely you will get one question. I like coding. What about you? Let me know in the comments below. With that question, warm up of the brain is over. Let's move ahead to the next exercise. Write a function vowel count in Python that counts and displays the number of vowels in the text file. This question is important. I have seen this question in many question papers. It's time to check out the code for the same. Using def keyword, the function got created. Write the name of the function according to the question. As usual, the first step is to open the file. We are opening in the read mode. With the help of read function, we are going to read the content of the file and getting stored in the variable data. Here we use read function. It will give the data in the form of string. As we have to check each character, it will be good to work with the string. It's time to iterate over the data of the file. For that we are using for loop. As the file data now is in the format of string, so X will be taking each character of the string. If that character is any one of the character mentioned here, we will be incrementing the counter which we have initialized 0 in the beginning. And finally we will be printing the count of the vowels. Don't forget to close the file. For demo we have taken some random content for the poem.txt file and accordingly we are getting the count of the vowels. Wow, it's great. One more code got over. Proceeding to the 29th question, there is a given table and based on the table we have to write the SQL queries. Read the question carefully and check the table properly. Let's read the first description for which we have to write the query. Increase the salary by 5% of the personnel whose allowance is known. So for that we need to work on two columns. First is salary and the second is allowance. If you want to update the record or modify the record in already created table, we use update query. Update table name followed by set clause. The changes or modification we need to mention here. Salary is going to increment by 5%. So we can write 0.05. So the statement will be salary equals to salary into 0.05. It's time to apply the condition with the where clause. The condition is whose allowance is known. Look at the allowance column. Some entries are null. That should not be included. So we are writing allowance is not null. Moving ahead to the second description. Display name and total salary. Total salary will be sum of salary and allowance. When we will be adding these two columns, we have to give the heading as total salary. So select name, salary plus allowance. We are calculating here total salary and using as we are giving alias to the column from personal. Time to check out the last query. Delete the record of the supervisor who have salary greater than 25,000. To delete record we use delete query. Delete from personal. The condition is must, otherwise all the records will get deleted. So what's the condition? We have to delete the record of supervisors whose salary is greater than 25,000. So the query will be where designation equals to supervisor and salary is greater than 25,000. If we look at the table, there are two supervisors, but Ravina's salary is not mentioned, it is null. So only the record of Mahesh will get deleted from the table. MySQL is very easy. Prepare it properly so that you can cover the marks. Finally, we are at the last question. One nested list is given named endList. Each list contains city, country and the distance from Delhi. Now let's check out the question. We have to write one user defined function named pushElement. It will take the nested list as parameter. We will be doing the operation of push in which we will be pushing a list object containing the name of the city and country. But what's the condition? The city should not be in India and the distance should be less than 3500 from Delhi. There is one more question. With user defined function pop element, we have to pop the object from the stack. Even we need to display stack empty when there are no elements in the stack. So basically we are working on the data structure stack using list. Let's check out the code. According to the instructions, we have taken one empty list named travel, in which we will be pushing the elements of the list with the given criteria. User defined function also got created with the def keyword, and the endList, that is the provided nested list, is going to pass as a parameter. It's time to iterate over the elements of the nested list. The first condition is country should not be India. In the list we have city at the 0th index and country at the first index. So L of 1 should not be India. The second condition we will be combining using AND operator. The distance from Delhi should be less than 3500. That we will be getting at the index 2. So L of 2 should be less than 3500. If these two elements will satisfy both these criteria, from that list we will be taking city name and the country name. And those two elements we will be appending to the travel list. So with that code, these are the elements of the travel list. This is the first list element which satisfies the criteria, which will get added. The second list element which satisfies criteria is Dubai and UAE, and the third list element is Colombo and Sri Lanka, which will get added on top of that. As we are implementing stack, we have to push elements on top. Ultimately, we got the required output. Now let's check out the second question. Here we have to pop the element from the stack. Let's check out the code. As mentioned in the question, user defined function got created with the def keyword. We have to keep on popping the elements from the list. For that, we will be traversing the whole list until the length of the list is not equal to 0. We are applying pop function on the travel. You know, pop function returns the popped element. All the records will get deleted, will get popped from the list. When there are no records, we will be coming to the else part, and the message stack is empty will get printed. So finally we will get this output. If this while condition is not clear to you, you can write like this also, while length of travel not equals to 0 explicitly. Here we are implementing stack but using list. So all the functions will be of the list, but we have to follow the restrictions of the stack. So to push the item, we can simply use append function because it adds the item at the last. And to pop the element from the stack, we can simply use pop function. It deletes the last element. In this way, we completed section C. Thank you for joining me today. If you found this video helpful, do share with your friends. In the next video, we will be proceeding with the section D. So, until next time, keep studying smart, stay confident. I will see you in the next one.